I know there's a lot of concern about people saying you're gonna get money wiped and this and that about the new videos. Now, I'm gonna let y'all in a little tip on an easy way not to get money wiped. Alright, there's multiple ways. Now, one of the ways is you can go to, I believe it's under, my bad, under Warstock. And you can buy, I think it's the Scramjet or the Deluxo. And I don't remember how much the Scramjet sells for, but I know for sure the Deluxo sells for 2 million a piece. So while you may be losing a million at most, like, because I think it's 2.5 million, you will be keeping a lot more than what you could possibly lose. Another easy way to avoid a money wipe is in the session. You go to swap character, and from here, once you load into the swap character, it's really simple. And keep all your money in your bank when you're doing this. That's one of the biggest parts, is keeping your money in your bank for this part to work. This is in my opinion, this is the best method, is the swap character method. So you go to a secondary character, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for it to load in. And by the way, guys, if y'all ever have an issue with any of the videos I post on my channel, like you don't understand something, you can always reach me on PlayStation or Xbox. I have the apps on my phone for PS Messenger, and I have the app for Xbox, the Xbox app on my phone. Along with, you can also post in the comments, hey, I'm having this problem or that problem, and I'll happily come into the comments and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Now, unless I'm getting highly hit with a bunch of comments, sometimes I may miss one or two. But normally I'll come back in the comments, I'll look at them all, and I'll try and respond in an efficient amount of time to try and keep it relatively close to the time you commented, so I don't make you lose any amount of time on the glitches and stuff. That way you can maximize the amount of money you can make. But so let's hop right into it. So once you load into your other character, you see how I had 46 million in my bank, right? And it transferred over to this character. I don't know if I have a personal vehicle. No, I don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and steal one real quick. Sir, I'm gonna need you to stop. And you can go to pretty much any gas station. From what I know, almost all of them, if not all of them, have ATMs. ATMs are gonna be almost like your lifesaver. In this method, I use this method instead of, like, well, yes, you can withdraw money on your phone, but this method's a lot quicker because you can withdraw bigger amounts. So let's say you have 100 million. You don't want to sit there and do a withdrawal on your phone 100 million times. It's gonna take you all day. It's gonna take you more than a day probably. So that's where this method comes in. So you come over to a gas station or a bank, go inside, let's see, and usually somewhere's off in a corner there's one of these good old pals of mine, an ATM. So you walk over to it, hit right on the D-pad, enter your personal information, and then you go to withdraw, and you can do 10 million at a time. So opposed to 100 million times at $100 million, you can do 10 million at 10 times. You can do 10 million at a time, making it 10 times for 100 million. And then, since I'm gonna go ahead and just leave my money on this one, but I'm gonna still demonstrate how you transfer some of it back, because it's really simple. So, alright, I'm done with the ATM, right? But let's say I want to buy something with my other character. I have no money, right? So I just come back onto an ATM, and let's see. Let's say I want something that's $10 million. I just deposit 10 million back into my account. Go back over to online. I go to swap character. And from there, you can load right back in. And I've been I wouldn't say exactly a victim of money wipe, but I've been hit by a money wipe before, which is why I use this method. Not many people show you this method, especially on glitches like these, because honestly, the amount of money you can make would almost put their videos out of use for a while. I spend an average of probably 6 to 10 million a day sometimes, and I stay with money. I'm just doing this glitch because after that last update, I still have money left over from duplication glitches and everything else, which eventually, once I find some good ones, I'm gonna start putting those up too. But I still have those cars, so I don't really have to worry too much. Even if they money wipe me, oh well. I'm fine with it. I have $30-40 million on the side of of cars that I duplicated. So once we come in, so I want to buy the golden jet, right? $10 million jet. It doesn't have to use all the money you withdrew, but since I was gonna buy it anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So I go over to whatever I want to get, and we're gonna go by sort by price. Let's see what's most expensive here. Of course, it's still the $10 million jet. So I just buy that. Alright? And I have $2,000 on hand, but they're not really gonna notice 2K in your hand. Or like if you make money off of jobs and you grind for it, that's a different story. This is more for glitches and stuff, not having to worry. While yes, you could do the same thing with the ATM and withdraw all your money from your bank account to your main character. The issue would come into play is if another person kills you and they keep killing you, you're gonna start losing a lot of that money. So opposed to risking carrying 40-50 million in cash, just put it on your second character that you don't play as much, and when you want to go get something, just go over to your second character real quick and you pull some money out. But alright guys, this is the end of this one, and I'll catch y'all next time, but for now, keep it chill.